A very good morning to all. Welcome to the BA second day class of English again. So we are doing the play Macbeth, and so far we have done Act 1 and Act 2. Today we will be discussing Act 3. So let's begin with scene 1 of Act 3. In this scene we see that alone at Macbeth's court, Banquo voices his suspicions. Banquo is suspicious that Macbeth has killed Duncan in order to fulfill the prophecy of the three witches. He muses that perhaps the witch's vision for his own future will also be realized. So, what was the witch's vision for him? That he will not be the king, but his children will be the kings. Children will be the kings. So, Banquo also muses about, he ponders about his own son Fleance's becoming the king, but pushes the thought from his mind. So he is not thinking much about the prophecy of the witches. Then Macbeth and Lady Macbeth enter to the fanfare of trumpets along with Lennox and Rose. Macbeth announces that he will hold a banquet in evening and that Banquo will be honored as a chief guest. So now Macbeth has also planned the murder of Banquo because of the prophecy by the three witches. Banquo's son will be the next king. So, in the thought of, in the feeling of insecurity, he wants to be assured that Banquo and his son will also be killed, so that his kingship will be without any hindrance. See, he wants to confirm the throne of the king, and that's why he has also planned the murder of Banquo, his friend, who was also there in his victory against the country of Norway. So he invites Banquo for the banquet, and Banquo states that he must ride in the afternoon, but he will return for the banquet in the night. So then Macbeth tells him that Malcolm and Donanville will not confess to killing their father. So what he is saying is Malcolm and Donanville, upon whom he transferred the blame of murdering the king. So he planned a murder, that he had a conspiracy that the two courtiers who were caught drunk and who were blamed for the murder of the king were hired by Malcolm and Donanville, the sons of Duncan. So now he tells Banquo that Malcolm and Donanville will not confess to killing their father. So he is very worried about that who will be blamed for the murder of King Duncan. So Macbeth also knows that Banquo knows about the whole thing, and he also knows that his sons might become the future king. So he wants to be assured of his own throne, of his own seat. So he is also planning for the murder of Banquo. After confirming that Fleance will accompany Banquo on his trip, Macbeth wishes Banquo a safe ride. Then Macbeth summons up the two murderers he has hired. So he calls for the two murderers, the two men whom he hired for the murder of Banquo. While he waits for them, he voices his greatest worry of the moment, that the witch's prophecy will also come true for Banquo. So as the prophecy for himself came true, that he became the king, he also worries that the prophecy about Banquo's son of becoming the king will also come true. So he is a little worried about that prophecy also. So he will put an end to such worries by hiring two men to kill Banquo and Fleance. So he is also planned to kill Banquo and Fleance. So we can see that one sin leads to the others too. So after murdering the king Duncan, he is also planning to kill Banquo and his son Fleance. So the men are not professional assassins, but rather poor men who are willing to work as mercenaries. So Macbeth hired two poor men, and because Macbeth blamed their current state of poverty on Banquo, so Macbeth convinces the two murderers that Banquo is the enemy of himself as well as the two two of them. So Macbeth proceeds to detail the particulars of the murder, and they must attack him as he returns from his ride before the banquet at a certain distance from the palace. So the whole plan of the murder of Banquo is also ready, and the murderers are going to act upon the plan. And he also tells them that they must also kill Fleance at the same time. So then we see in the next scene that Lady Macbeth expresses her unhappiness. There seems to be no end to her desire for power, and she feels insecure and anxious. So Lady Macbeth is also very anxious about the sustainability, the durability of his husband's throne, his seat as a king. So Macbeth enters looking upset, and she counsels him to stop mulling over the crimes they have committed. So Lady Macbeth is very firm, and she is very confident, and she does not regret the idea of the thought of the guilt of killing King Duncan. But Macbeth, the genuine soul, the hero, the tragic hero who has a tragic flow of over ambitiousness, is a little you can say sensitive, and he declares that their job is not done. He still spends every waking moment in fear and every night in nightmare. So his guilt conscience is not allowing him to be free and as happy as Lady Macbeth is. So he is not able to overcome his own guilt of the crime he had committed and he is going to commit in future. So he even envies Duncan, who now sleeps peacefully in his grave. So his guilt consciousness is that much overpowering him that he thinks that the king who he killed is now more happy and more peaceful than his own soul. Then Lady Macbeth wants him to act cheerful in front of their dinner guests, because any gesture of uncomfort and fear will let the other people, the guests, know the whole conspiracy that they had planned for Duncan and Banquo. So she also tries to comfort him by reminding him that Banquo and Fleance are by no means immortal. So she assures him that they will also be killed easily as Duncan had been. So Macbeth responds by telling her that a deed of dreadful note will be done in the night. So again he is very worried and very anxious about the next murder he is going to commit. Then in scene 3 we see that the two murderers are joined by a third murderer who says that he has also been hired by Macbeth. So now the three murderers hired by Macbeth have come to kill Banquo and Fleance. So horses are heard approaching and Banquo and Fleance enter. The murderers attack Banquo, but Fleance somehow manages to escape. So we can see that Banquo is killed, murdered, but his son, about whom the three witches made prophecy that he will be the next king, so he escapes. So again we can see that the supernatural powers how will change the future of the plan of Macbeth. So now Fleance manages to escape. The murderers leave after killing Banquo, and they report back to Macbeth that Fleance has escaped. So we see that after the one murder, they are planning, Lady Macbeth and Macbeth are planning another murders to be assured of their kingship. So enough for today. Let's see what happens in the next scenes and in the coming classes. Thank you.